Hello, Verbling.com members. Sorry for the delay, but I am now connected with the best place in the world to learn a second language. We're talking about Verbling.com. I'm connected to Verbling.com so that I can connect directly to you to help you improve your English this hour. We are going to be doing everything. We are going to be reading some information. We are going to be watching a short video and making comments about the video as we watch it. Then we're going to be reading an audio transcript provided by the BBC. And then we are going to be listening to the podcast. The subject this hour is going to be about genes, genetic information, and viruses. So hopefully this is useful information and that people will understand a little bit more about these little non-living genetic machines that cause so many diseases and illnesses in not only us, but all of the other creatures in the world. And so, if it's time to join, let's join the class. And let me see, what should we, my question for today is, did you study biology in school? Did you learn anything about biology when you were studying in school? And what area of biology do you find most interesting? All right, and so I'd like to go to Alberto. Welcome, Alberto. Where are you connecting from?
Hello, I'm from Spain. I'm from Spain. I'm connecting from Valencia in the east coast of Spain.
Okay, great. And so, did you study biology? Was that one of your favorite subjects when you were in school?
Yes, I studied biology when I was in the high school. And I found interesting at the time, but now I am afraid I don't remember pretty much about it.
So you haven't continued following biology then?
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
I forgot.
No problem. We'll go back and review one of the parts of it anyways. All right, great. And so, Amir, hello.
Hello, teacher.
Where are you connecting from?
I am from Algeria, connect.
Okay, good. And how about, how interesting was biology when you were in school, either high school or university?
When I was school, biology is very interesting module. I was study immunity and different stuff like this.
All right, so the immune system?
Yes, it's very interesting.
All right, great, excellent. I'm glad to hear that. Because that's what we're going to be talking about today. And so, Angel, hello, welcome.
Hello.
Angel, are you there? Good.
Yeah.
Where are you connecting from?
I'm from Colombia.
Okay, good. And how interesting was biology for you in school, high school, university?
In the last year was so interesting at the point that I wanted to be a bacteriologist, but it wasn't possible for a lot of motive. But
a lot of reasons, okay.
Yes, a lot
and
of
so
reasons.
What are you planning to study then?
Right now I'm studying publicity. It has nothing to do with it.
No,
but you know the life.
Yeah, that's life. Yeah. Okay, so publicity and marketing.
Yeah, no, only publicity.
Oh, publicity. Okay. All right, great. Thank you. And Enrique, welcome.
Oh, thank you, Geoff. How are you today?
Great. Please tell this group where you're connecting from and what are your comments about biology?
I'm from Colombia, and biology is an interesting topic. I sometimes have to teach about that, and so I have to learn more about it every day.
Yeah, okay. You are a teacher. Who are your students?
Yes, I am a teacher. My students are from 7 to 22.
Yeah, that's amazing. So right from elementary school, or we say primary school, all the way up to university age.
Yes, yes.
Okay, great. Excellent. Welcome. And Fanfo,
Thank you.
hello.
Hi there. I'm
Yes.
connecting from Saudi Arabia in North Asia.
Okay, great. Yes,
Speaking of biology, it is one of my favorite subjects,
Oh,
and it's
good.
an interesting subject as well. The most, um, what, the best part of the biology, it is that about human body and the structure.
Yes, I find that fascinating as well, how the body works. Absolutely. Okay,
About the
great.
cells, the tissues, the organs, and the systems.
Cells, tissues, organs, different systems. Excellent. Great. Thank you. Ismail, hello, welcome.
Hello, Geoff. Hello, everybody. I am connecting from Turkey. I received biology in the gymnasium, Geoff.
Okay.
I remembered it was hard for me to understand biology. We are talking a small creature. There was a human skeleton in the class, I remembered.
Okay.
And
Looking at
we
a
had
skeleton.
an old teacher, and we had a human model. We can see the organs of the human body
We could.
in
We
the
could see.
yes, in the human model.
Okay. So a plastic model
Yes, there
showing
was
the
a
organs. And was
yes,
the
chef, and
skeleton real? Was it a real
no, I
skeleton?
think there wasn't real. There was a plastic or something different.
Yeah.
There
Okay.
wasn't real,
It
and
was made of plastic. Okay.
I
Yeah.
memorized that. I I work to go to get a good note, uh,
Good marks.
yeah, good marks because we are going we were going to small creature. We are talking about
Small.
small
Yeah. Microorganisms.
microorganism.
Okay. Great. Yeah, I'm going to move on, but I just wanted to tell everyone that unfortunately I'm not able to access the Verbling chat box. And so for my comments, I'm going to switch and use the Google chat box. And so my question to Ismail was it a real skeleton? Okay. And so Servet, hello.
Oh, hello, sir. I am Serhat. I am from Turkey. Biology, I like all kind of biologies, unless I have opportunity to apply. But when it's theoric, like in classical classes, it's boring sometimes.
Yeah, the traditional classes. Now, sorry, you said you like all kinds of biology, different areas. Then I'm
Science,
sorry.
different
Yeah,
science,
oh, okay,
physics,
science.
biology, chemistry. But when I
Okay.
apply it, it's good. When I just read it, it's boring.
Okay. And so you prefer doing experiments or using the
Yes.
information. All right, excellent. Yeah, great. And I'm going to go to Soad.
Hi,
Hello, where are you connecting from?
I'm from Algeria.
Okay, wonderful. And so,
Okay.
what did you think of biology?
Honestly,
Sure, please.
actually, I had a bad teacher in
Ah,
my during my high school. So I was not interested at that time with biology.
Okay.
I was much more interested in languages and literature. But now I started having this sense of getting curious. Am I right?
Curious. Yeah,
Yeah,
getting
curious.
curious.
Yeah, about the structure of our human body.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Great. So
Okay.
I have lots of material. And so what I'd like to do is to start by bringing up the share screen. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to upload this document, so I'm going to use the share screen. All of you have a PDF file that you can download for the BBC podcast. But what I'd like to do is to read some introductory information about viruses, and then I'd like to play a video, a computer animated video that I found interesting. And again, this is an English class, so you don't need to believe any of the information that I give you, and you can make comments. You don't need to worry about whether your comments are correct or not. We can just practice our English and make mistakes. They don't have to be correct. So I'd like to ask Asan. Hello. Asan, are you there? Asan, are you there? I see your video. Yes, hello.
Yes, sir.
Where are you connecting from?
Yes, sir. I am from Pakistan.
Okay, great. So could you please read this first short paragraph?
Yeah, why not? What is virus? By Dr. Ananya Mandal, MD. Viruses are tiny organisms that may lead to
I'm sorry. I'll let you read that. Go ahead, please. Or did we lose him? Yeah, sorry, we've lost him. So Alberto, could you please read this paragraph for us?
Yes. What is a virus?
Please.
I lost the screen.
Yeah.
Viruses are tiny organisms that may lead to mild to severe illnesses in humans, animals, and plants. This may include flu or a cold to something more life-threatening like HIV, AIDS.
Okay, great. I'm going to get you to stop there. We're just going to do short little paragraphs here. And so I just wanted to help with, AIDS. We pronounce the word AIDS, that spells out, and mild, I sound. And then I wanted to say that a flu is the influenza, and it's very different from the common cold. Yeah. So to catch a cold or to be sick with the flu, those are two very different things. And MD stands for medical doctor, I believe.
Okay.
All right, great. And so we're moving on to the next person, Amir, please. Hello, Amir, are you there?
Amir.
Yeah, and sorry, Saud, you need to keep your microphone muted for us, please. We can actually hear you speaking and we can hear you breathing. And so we cannot hear you, Amir, and so I'm going to go on to Angel. Angel, could you read this paragraph for us?
Sure. How big are the viruses? The virus particles are 100 times smaller than a single bacteria cell. The bacterial cell alone is more than 10 times smaller than a human cell, and human cell is 10 times smaller than the diameter of a single human hair.
Okay, great. And so we're starting at a human hair. So cut that in 10. and then cut one of those in 10, and then cut one of those in 100. So we're talking about something that's very, very small. All right, great. And so you can see they're much smaller than bacteria. So really, there's no way to compare the sizes. You're talking about something that's 100 times smaller than a single bacterial cell. Okay. Let's have the next. Yes, great.
What is the smaller than the other? Is it bacteria or viruses?
Good. So viruses are smaller than bacteria.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Virus particles are 100 times smaller than. That's the grammar here. Smaller than a single bacteria cell. Okay. So to be smaller than. All right, and great. Thank you for your comment or your question. Enrique, could you read this for us, please?
Okay. Are viruses alive? Viruses by themselves are not alive. They cannot grow or multiply on their own and need to enter a human or animal shell and take over the shell to help them multiply. These viruses may also infect bacterial shells.
Yeah, great. And let me help you with your pronunciation of cell. And so it's an S sound. Just like the verb to buy or sell something, the pronunciation is exactly the same.
Okay.
That helps. Cells, yeah. So great. And we have, this is a new word here that I didn't know. Fanfo, could you read this short paragraph for us, please?
Sure. The virus particle or the virions attack the cells and take over its machinery to carry out their own life process of multiplication and growth. An infected cell will produce viral particles instead of its usual products.
Okay, great. And process and processes. So there's an extra syllable with the plural. So processes. Right, great. And they're saying that one virus, if it takes over, if it takes control of a cell, it will trick the cell into making literally 1 million copies, which is kind of scary. Ismail, could you please read this text for us?
Yes. Receptors. Viruses are not simply taken into cells. They must first attach to a receptor on the cell surface. Each virus has its specific receptor, usually a vital component of the cell surface. It is the distribution of these receptors' molecules on host cells that determines the cell preference of viruses. For example, the cold and flu virus prefers the mucous lining cells of the lungs and the airways.
Okay, great. Thank you. And just let me help you out with surface. And determines. Okay, great. And so I've heard it described as a key and a lock. And so the viruses have a key that only fits into the receptors of certain cells. So certain viruses infect certain types of cells. And Michele, hello, welcome.
Hi,
could you
Peter.
read this paragraph for us?
Of course. How do viruses infect? Viruses do not have the chemical machinery needed to survive on their own. They thus seek out host cells in which they can multiply. These viruses enter the body from the environment on the other individuals from soil to water to air via nose, mouth, or any break in the skin and seek a cell to infect.
Great. And viruses.
Viruses.
Just the I sound there. Okay, good. All right. And so they are always in search of cells to infect. Let's keep going. You guys are doing a great job. Servet?
Yes. A cold or flu virus, for example, will target cells that line the respiratory.
Yeah, sorry, respiratory.
Respiratory. For example, the lungs or digestive, the stomach tracts, the human immunodeficiency virus that causes AIDS attacks the T cells, a type of white blood cell that fights infection and disease of the immune system. Immune system.
Great. And we read this as IE. And
IE.
what you're doing is you're giving an example. And so respiratory. Now that's my pronunciation. Some people might pronounce it differently, but I tend to respiratory. I do not really pronounce the syllable that should be created by the A. Respiratory system. I.e., for example, the lungs, or the digestive system, i.e. the stomach. All right? And the problem with why the HIV virus is so dangerous is it because it attacks the immune system itself.
What is respiratory?
It has to do with breathing. So your lungs, and so the whole system that allows us to breathe air and blow out, breathe in oxygen, I guess, and blow out CO2.
Carbon dioxide. Yeah.
Great, carbon dioxide. All right, and so let's go to Suad.
Okay. Life cycle of a basic virus. There are a few basic steps that all infecting viruses follow, and these are called the Lytic cycle. Lytic or Lytic?
I don't know, actually. Sorry.
Lytic cycle. These include 1. A virus particle attaches to a host cell. This is called the process of adsorption.
Yeah,
2.
okay, great.
The particle injects its DNA or RNA into the host cell called entry.
Please continue.
3. The invading DNA or RNA takes over the cell and recruits the host's enzymes. 4. The cell or enzymes start making new virus particles called replication.
Enzymes.
Okay. 5. The particles of the virus created by the cell come together to form new viruses. This is called assembly. 6. The newly formed viruses kill the cell so that they may break free and search for a new host cell, and this is called release.
Okay, great job. Super. And so, test time. What I would like to do is I'm going to use the, first of all, I'm going to use the screen share to show everyone the YouTube application. Here it is here. So please, if people could add this YouTube application to their Google Hangout screen, and I'm going to play a video. And what I'm hoping to do is to actually mute the video, because you can listen to the dialogue yourself later if you want, but I found the dialogue was not very helpful. It was meant for, it was definitely meant for native speakers, and not very good. And so what I'd like, I'm going to pause this, just if everyone could please pause their, could everyone please mute their microphones now, just so that we can eliminate the background noise, please. And what I'd like them to do is, if you have a comment during the film, because I'm hopefully, we're going to limit the sound, what I would like you to do is just to turn on your microphone and start making comments about what's happening in the video, because the illustration, the animation, computer animation is amazing. And so please, I'd like lots of interaction and participation from all of the different students. So please just keep your comments short, please. So what did that man just do? Someone? Now, someone has their microphone open, but only have it open if you want to make a comment, please. We're looking for comments. What happened? Anyone?
The man was sneezing.
Absolutely.
And I'll continue watching.
Okay, good. And what's happening here?
It's a virus invasion in a
Right.
human body.
Good. And what were those?
The virus finds the convenient cell to attack.
Good.
The key.
Good. This is a cold virus. It seems to be attacking one of the mucus cells. Wow, how did it get inside the cell? Why did it? Yeah.
It reached the DNA on the RNA of the host cell.
Okay, now hold on. I'm going to stop right now. I'm going to stop it here. Now, why was it allowed to go into the cell? Does anybody remember that?
Because it's smaller?
Sorry, I don't think so. I'm trying to go back in the video. Yeah, look at this. What's happening here? Remember? What were these called?
Receptors?
Yeah, okay. And so the virus has keys, and let's watch this part. So if the keys on the virus fit the receptors, the locks on the cells, the cell will literally bring the virus inside. It opens the door and brings it in. And the cell literally pulls the virus into it. So it's tricking the tricking the cell. And now it's releasing its genetic information. What's happening now?
DNA is going into the cell.
Good. So from the virus, DNA or RNA. And what this is part of the cell.
Yes.
The big blob. What's it doing?
I think it starts copying the virus's DNA.
Yeah, making new instructions on how to make the virus. And so you can see it's one strand is coming in and two strands are going out. He's calling these chefs that cook up the parts and molecules of the virus. So the cell sends out instructions on how to make the parts of the virus. And look at this. What's happening here? Whoa. I'm going to go back to here. Let's see what this looks like. Okay, so the cell is tricked into making instructions. Okay, so you can see that he's talking about the fact that our immune system keeps these viruses in check, which means it limits their number. Okay, so that's I thought that was very interesting animation. All right, and so what I'd like to do now then is, and how much time do we have left? What I'd like to do is then I'd like to play the podcast from the BBC about how scientists can see traces, evidence, or changes that have been left in our DNA and other animals' DNAs from exposure to viruses, perhaps as far back as 100 million years ago. And so you can see that scientists have shown that viruses and living things have existed together on the earth for at least 100 million years. And these viruses, the way that they mix their genetic information with ours, have left evidence in our DNA evidence. And so what I'd like people to do is to please open up your PDF document. And then what I'd like you to do is to listen to the podcast. And when we come back after listening to the podcast, which is 6 minutes, we are going to make some comments and practice our English. And so right now, I am going to plug in my iPod and play the podcast. Now, some of you may have problems hearing the podcast because the sound is often played through a different set of speakers. So you may have to switch from your headphones to your computer speaker or vice versa. Okay, I'm going to play the podcast, and I hope you enjoy it. Just give me 1 minute to set things up.
This is 6 Minute English from bbclearningenglish.com.
Hello and welcome to 6 Minute English. I hope another 5 minutes and 55 seconds of wonderful English language conversation about an interesting topic from BBC News. I'm William Kramer.
Hello, I'm Helen Hugh. Today we're talking about jeans.
Oh right, is that why we're both wearing jeans?
No, not that kind of jeans. Jeans spelt G-E-N-E-S. These are the molecules in our body which hold genetic information. So genes tell our bodies how they should grow and develop.
Right, and genes are what parents hand down to their children. We carry genes from one generation to the next.
Now, before we go any further, it's time for our weekly quiz. Were you very good at science at school, William?
Not particularly.
Good. You'll be rubbish at this then. Okay, the question is, how many genes do human beings have? Is it A, between 10,000 and 25,000? Or is it B, between 100,000 and 250,000? Or C, between 1 million and 2.5 million?
Well, I have no idea, so I'm going to go for C, between 1 million and 2.5 million.
Okay, well the answer will be at the end of the programme. Now, a new scientific study has looked at the genes of lots of animals and found traces of the same viruses that existed a long time ago.
Right, they found traces, so they found signs that something happened or existed. And the traces they found were of viruses, the tiny creatures that spread infectious diseases. So, Helen, they think that these viruses have existed for millions of years then?
Exactly. Let's listen to a clip from BBC correspondent David Shukman. See if you can hear which animals the researchers studied.
Researchers from Oxford, New York and Belgium have investigated the genes of 38 mammals, including humans, mice, elephants and dolphins, and they found that most of them share traces of the same ancient viruses. The workers established that at least one virus infected our common ancestors as long as 100 million years ago.
So, did you hear which animals were mentioned?
The researchers investigated 38 different mammals, including humans, mice, elephants, and dolphins.
That's right. And by comparing the genes of the animals, they've concluded that there was at least one virus that infected our ancestors, perhaps 100 million years ago.
Wow. An ancestor is a person or plant that is related to something today, but that lived earlier. So what, Helen? What's the significance of that?
Well, for a start, it suggests that these viruses are incredibly good at survival. And as we will hear in our next clip, these diseases have not only survived, but they have also evolved. They have changed and adapted slowly over a long time.
Okay, so let's hear the next clip now. See if you can hear the word that David Shukman uses instead of the word viruses.
The scientists found that these microorganisms have adapted to stay within their host cell where they have thrived. So within the double helix of our DNA lies not only a legacy of past infections, but also a miniature ecosystem in which the viruses live on and evolve.
David Shukman used the word microorganisms instead of the word viruses. A microorganism is a very, very small creature.
He said the scientists found that the microorganisms had thrived, meaning they had prospered. They had developed well. The research suggests that our genes actually help viruses to survive and evolve. And some viruses have developed positive outcomes. For example, the protein syncytin evolved from a virus and has helped develop the female placenta.
Right, okay, so these microorganisms can be good things.
Well, they are not exactly good, but they have helped us to evolve.
Sorry, I wasn't being very scientific. Anyway, let's hear the final clip now, and we're going to hear the opinion of the senior researcher on the project. See if you can hear why he thinks his research could be useful in the future.
According to the senior author of the study, Dr. Robert Belshaw of Oxford University, understanding these survivors from the distant past may provide clues to the early detection of cancers or infections.
Robert Belshaw thinks understanding the viruses might help the early detection of cancers or infections. They might help us notice these diseases early on.
Okay, time to hear the answer to our quiz. I asked you how many genes human beings have, and you chose C, between 1 million and 2.5 million. Well, the answer is A, 10,000 to 25,000. Okay, I can tell you're not that interested in this. So why don't you do something useful and remind us of today's vocabulary?
Okie doke. Genes. A trace. A virus. An ancestor. To evolve. A microorganism. To thrive. Detection.
If you would like to know more about these words, download our PDF script on bbclearningenglish.com.
Goodbye.
Bye.
That was 6 Minute English from BBC.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
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 Awesome.
Yeah, so quite interesting. I found that podcast personally to be a little difficult to understand exactly what they meant by the evidence of these past viruses and that they're still living within the cell, which is possible. But what did you think? And so people are free to make any kind of comment they want. And this is a time for you to practice your English, and I'm here to help you. And so maybe I'll start with Alberto. Do you have a reaction, a comment, your own statement to make, or questions that you want to ask?
Yeah, of course. I was wondering about the podcast. I understood they told about we have a lot of similarity with other beings in the earth. So it's quite surprising to me to know about that. We have a lot of similarities with other beings.
Yeah, I mean, I guess with the theory of evolution, if you go back far enough, all of the ancestors merge into one or into a few. Good comment. Amir, do you have a comment for us?
Yes, it was very interesting study. It's point of view.
Good. And do you know about viruses? You know, about certain diseases or how to treat viruses, etc.?
Little thing, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
No, sorry. Please go ahead with your comment.
As the virus is the virus is himself killed to treat other disease.
Okay, right. Excellent. Thank you. And Enrique, please.
Okay, I think it's interesting how viruses and cells in human body have been lived together, and I think maybe medicine have helped these viruses could survive because I think nature give us the tools to combat the viruses, but we use just antibiotics, and that led these viruses could survive.
Now, yeah, and now I'm not sure what your point is, but I've heard that antibiotics do not work at all against viruses. Is that what you wanted to say?
Sometimes because viruses have evolved along the time.
Yes,
so
right.
They have developed some strategies or some tools to survive.
Yes, that's great. Yeah, the way that they constantly change. Great. And so, Fanful, a comment from you, please. Everybody's doing a great job.
Yes, it is an interesting article all in all, but I like the part that they said knowing the ancestors, the ancient type of viruses, it helped them to early detection of the treatment.
Yeah, and you can find the link at the BBC website if you want to read more about that. But yeah, excellent. Okay, and we've got someone new. Hikam.
Salam alaikum. Hisham teacher, Hisham. Hisham, yes.
Yes, hello. Where are you connecting from?
I'm connecting from Morocco.
Okay, and do you have a comment for us? Have you seen some of the class?
No, I just came, but after the comments, I just know that you were talking about viruses and microbes and like that.
Right. Okay, good. Thank you. Looks like we've got time to get 2 comments from everybody. So let's keep moving. Thank you. Welcome. Ismail, go ahead, please, with a comment.
Yes, Geoff. The viruses cannot live with each other. They need some DNA or RNA helix to host and evolve in the in that place.
Yes.
And they are evolving in the DNA helix.
Yes, are you there?
Some viruses are helpful for human body. I understood from the text that Geoff. They are producing some protein, pectin, and this protein is helpful to make
the placenta.
Placenta.
It was involved with the evolution of the placenta, which is the organ that is the connection between the mother and the baby. Okay.
Yes.
Great. Thank you. Michele, a comment?
Yes, and I think that it is a very funny thing. So, I couldn't imagine that we helped to each other for thousands of years to evolve. I knew that we helped the viruses to evolve, but I didn't know that they help us to evolve. So it's a funny thing. They try to kill us.
Yeah.
For a billion years, but they helped us.
Yeah. Well, I guess there's that expression in English: "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger."
Makes you stronger.
and so I guess that's the idea behind the theory of evolution, that getting sick with a virus will change you. If you survive, you will pass that difference on to your offspring. So the fact that viruses have always existed has shaped us, has made us who we are. Yeah, and so great comment, Servet. Please go ahead.
Yes, my point is, I don't know how well we know viruses now, how well we understand how they work, how they structure, how detailed we know it. I don't know. I know, my opinion, if we don't know how they work in detail, and if we can find in by this if we find viruses that have more basic structures, maybe with more deficits, it may help us to understand them and maybe to develop more medicines or treatment.
Antiviral drugs.
Yes.
Yeah, this is something that's in the news, where people are trying to develop antiviral drugs. Yeah, absolutely. Great. And let's go back. Great job, everybody. Let's get another round of comments, please. Alberto?
Yeah. Yes, I don't know what to say. I think it's quite interesting, the comment about the viruses are trying to kill us. I think they may achieve it because the viruses they seem a quite power organism, a quite power element. It's quite the capability of adaptation is quite bigger.
Yeah. What I've heard is that they make copies. They force the cell, or they trick the cell into making copies. But the copies are very bad. They're full of mistakes. And that's why the viruses evolve so quickly, is they're constantly creating mistakes and changes in their DNA. And you used an excellent word. They're not really organisms because they're not living things.
Yeah.
They're sort of elements, this disease-causing element that we all live with. Right. Amir, a comment, please.
I don't think that antibiotic don't kill the virus.
Oh, okay.
I think that is very effective to virus.
Okay. Good. All right. Thank you. And Sorry, Enrique, go ahead, please.
Yes, I think it's a strong fight between viruses and our human body, and I think maybe we have to use more natural resources, not the scientist resources to fight this or to yes to fight against viruses.
Yeah. Okay.
Because
So.
natural elements like citrics, like fruits,
Yeah.
this kind of natural resources.
Yeah, and now resources is not exactly the best word. So kind of natural treatments or natural medicines.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Let's keep going. Some great comments. Fanfo, please.
Actually, I don't have a comment. They mentioned them enough.
Okay. And so I'll move on. But thank you, Ismail.
Geoff, we are understanding from the text that some scientists are detecting early cancer and some infection diseases, but I couldn't understand. We can search viruses, and we know lots of things about the viruses. And what is the plot of this
Well, yeah,
subject?
Okay, yeah, that's a good question. There's an additional information, another article. So I'm going to go on to Michele. Do you know the answer?
So I think that we should give to the virus the right key for to to enter in the cancer cells. And it is, I think that it is another funny thing that they will be able to help us twice. The first time to evolve, and the second time to kill the cancer.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I know that people have talked about that, where they use viruses to safe viruses to inject or carry genetic information into living cells. And so that might be a new way of killing cancer cells. Excellent. Servet, a final comment from you?
Yes, I think if viruses affects our genes, maybe we can create our own viruses to change our maybe ill genes. Maybe like
okay, our damaged genes or the genes
damaged.
that create diseases.
Or maybe like there are some special traits or physical or any kind of features according to the place where you live. Maybe with these viruses, even after you born, maybe we may find a way to change them.
Well, and some diseases are caused by genetic problems, and so maybe that's possible. Absolutely, viruses helping to perform genetic changes, genetic treatments. Okay, that sounds like a topic for the next class. All right, that was fantastic. Wow, super comments from all of you. Well done, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Geoff.
Please come to my Facebook page if you have ideas for future classes. I need, I need specific ideas, anything, and specific ideas of what you would like to read about, talk about, listen to, and watch. Talk to you soon.
Okay.